Warning, once you try this Tuscan Crunch Focaccia, you'll never look at regular bread the same way again. Now let me show you how. To make the focaccia bread, you're going to start with a stand mixer. You're going to have 1 3/4 cup warm water. You're going to add 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast, and you're going to let that bloom for about 15 minutes. And then you'll add in your 4 cups of all-purpose flour or bread flour, your sea salt, and extra virgin olive oil. I mix the dough on medium speed for 5 minutes, and then I shape it into a ball, put it in a greased bowl. It sets for 2 hours and rises like you see there. Then I'm going to fold it in on all of its sides while turning the bowl, turning it into another ball. I've got a 9x13 casserole dish there that I'm going to be using to bake it in. I'm going to put it in the pan there and push it out to the corners and then let it rise again for about 45 minutes. At the end of the 45 minutes, I'm going to take some extra virgin olive oil, drizzle it over the top, and then taking my fingers, I'm going to poke those signature holes that focaccia bread is known for into the top. I've taken some fresh rosemary from the garden. I'm going to sprinkle that over the top as well. I'm going to bake this at 425 degrees for 25 minutes. To prep the fried chicken cutlets, I'm going to pound it down to about a 1/2 inch thick, and then I'm going to have 3 bowls there. The first one's going to have your all-purpose flour with seasonings, then your egg wash, and then your panko breadcrumbs. As you can see, I've gone from the flour now to the egg wash and into the panko breadcrumbs. Get all of my fillets coated like this on this baking tray, and then I'm going to let them set up in the fridge while we get started on the next part of our sandwich. Now, while I bake the focaccia bread, I'm also going to roast some garlic cloves in there. I'm going to take a ramekin, cover these garlic cloves in some extra virgin olive oil, layer it over with foil, and then set it inside the oven to cook alongside the focaccia. This garlic has to cook for 40 minutes, unlike our focaccia. 25 minutes later, there is our finished focaccia bread. I'm going to let it set up and cool before I take it out and slice it in half. And then 40 minutes later, there's our oven roasted garlic. In this bowl here, I've got some fresh basil I've picked from the garden. This is going to make our pesto. In a food processor, I'm going to put 2 cups of basil, our oven roasted garlic. I'm going to follow that up with 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, some salt, a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, and then a 1/4 cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. I'm going to process this for about 45 seconds. And there you have it, basil pesto for our sandwich. Other toppings that are going to be on our sandwich include these sliced tomatoes here, and then some burrata. I cut the focaccia bread in 2 and I toasted the bottom half so it would hold up against all that pesto and other layers we're going to be putting on the sandwich. All right, now we're going to take our breaded chicken and we're going to cook 2 of them at a time in a deep fryer at 375 degrees for 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and take the pesto there. I'm going to spread it out in a thin layer across the bottom part of our focaccia bread. And on top of the pesto, I'm going to layer the fried chicken cutlets. Then a layer of garden fresh salt and peppered tomatoes. And then our burrata balls, which I'm going to slice open to get that creaminess all over the sandwich. And finally, last but not least, some balsamic glaze I'm going to drizzle over the top there. And that, folks, is how you make a Tuscan Crunch focaccia sandwich. Proof that you can hold happiness in your hands.